It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And yeah, with that being said, let's jump right in. Okay, guys, so we are back to give you sort of an update on what's going on in the Gerardi cases, Gerardi divorce. There's just a lot. Obviously, we know that these headlines and this news just keeps popping up almost every single day at this point. There's constantly new cases coming out, and Gerardi could be potentially in a lot of trouble. Technically, you do have to go by the rule of thumb, innocent until proven guilty, right? So that hasn't actually happened, but the case is getting a little bit more and more messy. Mr. Gerardi's brother, Robert, actually recently took over conservatorship of Mr. Gerardi and his financial situation, and right now he's acting on his behalf. There was a motion for Mr. Gerardi to actually be evicted from his Pasadena mansion, and it seems like his brother's trying to put a halt to it. He's saying that if he gets evicted from his mansion, that he'll have nowhere to go, nowhere to live, and as of right now, he can't even drive. He can't think straight. He doesn't know where his finances are. He doesn't know where he is. So can we please not evict him? That's pretty much what the brother is saying. However, I don't feel like the judge is going to have that much sympathy to not kick him out of his Pasadena mansion. Now, again, guys, it was a court-ordered trustee who is trying to pretty much take over the 10,000 square foot mansion, right? Because I can't say that enough, 10,000 square foot mansion, right? And that's because they're trying to figure out which assets to liquidate in order to pay back all of these people. There's millions and millions of dollars that are owed back right now. And from what we know, Mr. Gerardi is saying that he doesn't have any money left. So that would be the next natural step. There were two court-appointed trustees, and again, it is their job to figure out where all of the money is, figure out how to get these people paid back, and selling the house would be one of those ways. But when Mr. Gerardi's brother, Robert, filed a motion, he was saying that his brother should be allowed to stay at the residence, remain there, because right now he's suffering from medical hardships, and that alone should allow him the right to keep his home. Guys, we know Ronald Richards has been on the case for quite some time. I think even since the very beginning, he's been tweeting out everything that's happening with this case, and he seems like he's a little bit passionate about it. And I think, you know, if you guys remember correctly, we covered this. We talked about the Gerardi cases with Emily D. Baker, and she even said, as a lawyer herself, watching these people and dealing with them who have law degrees, you feel like they should be held to a different standard because they know the rules, they know the laws, and they kind of give a bad name, corrupt lawyers, allegedly corrupt lawyers, not saying that Mr. Gerardi is one, but people who are lawyers who are doing things that are a little bit shady give a bad name to other lawyers. So I think what Emily D. Baker is saying is that it's offensive, and other lawyers, they don't like that. Obviously, it gives them a bad name. But Ronald Richards tweeted, "Breaking. Robert Gerardi files his opposition against the eviction motion by the trustee. And here are the notable positions taken in the declaration as noted." The first one is that Robert is claiming that his brother is incapable of driving at the moment, and how is he going to get to and from his numerous medical appointments? 2, Mr. Gerardi's house is over encumbered, meaning that there is no equity, and he has no other place to live, and he wants him to be close to his doctors. And lastly, he will now give the trustees unfettered access to the home with 48 hours notice. Ronald Richards said, though, that this opposition has no medical declaration and does not provide any actual conditions, facts, anything. So what kind of opposition is this? Ronald Richards said that Mr. Gerardi's brother's opposition wasn't even filed in a proper manner. He said that Mr. Gerardi's brother filed this in a federal bankruptcy court, and he lacked very specific facts. Mr. Richards also said there is no analysis whatsoever to the lack of equity in the home or why he can't move. And there's more, of course. In another tweet, Mr. Richards actually said that there is about $5 million that is missing out of one of Mr. Girardi's bank accounts. Ronald Richards tweeted, "Another strange banking transaction just emerged." He said that Mr. Gerardi had about $5 million in his bank account. He said yet he borrowed the $5 million against a CD at 1%. Now the trustee just submitted a step to liquidate it and net the estate at $50,000 of accrued interest. Ronald Richards finished that with, "Who does that? Where did the money go?" Now guys, again, with people like Ronald Richards or Emily D. Baker, any of these lawyers who know what they're talking about, they know the legal jargon, they know the rules, they've taken the bar exam, they know how all of this works. With people like that, which is great that we have knowledgeable people, knowledgeable professionals who aren't corrupt, right? Not saying anybody else is, but with people like that tweeting about these cases, it's only going to get worse and worse for Mr. Gerardi. Well, and Erika. I mean, at this point, there are so many different legal battles against them. Not only are they getting sued out of the wazoo for millions of dollars, but they're also in the middle of a divorce. They're claiming mental incompetency. We have a conservatorship taking place. There's 2 trustees involved. I mean, this is literally all over the board. There's so many different variables that are playing into this. And at this point, every single move that they do is going to be not only documented, but it's going to be put on blast. Like this $5 million. All of a sudden, you're moving this money and you're supposed to have all of your assets liquidated, not supposed to have any money. You technically owe one person alone, one couple alone, about $11 million. If you have 5 million, right, which does not equal 11 million, that should be going to pay off these families and the creditors that are owed here. So why are you exactly touching the $5 million? Why are you borrowing it against a CD at 1%? I mean, the questions that Ronald Richards, that he's asking, and they make sense. The questions make sense. And I think a lot of us are going to want to know. We want answers. We want to know how this is going to play out and if it's going to play out on a national level. I want to know if it's going to be on TV. Will this be a televised case? I'm curious what's going to happen in the future because, mind you, I understand cases like these happen all of the time, right? Where there's alleged fraud or alleged embezzlement. It's not the first time this has ever happened, but we're dealing with a famous lawyer who is also known for the Aaron Brockovich case, whose soon-to-be ex-wife is one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I mean, it sounds like a Lifetime movie already. I think that a lot of us want to see how this plays out, and we already know that it's not going to play out on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We know that. We know that Erika is going to pull the same thing that Elizabeth Lynn Vargas pulled on us when she said that she can't talk about anything. She can't share anything. It's legal. There are lawyers involved. I can't talk about the case. And again, mind you, Elizabeth Lynn Vargas was going through a divorce, so she couldn't talk about that because there were a few different variables, again, that played into that situation. And Erika might not be able to talk about her divorce. However, Lisa Rinna said that she's going to be talking about it. She's going to be talking about the cases or whatever she can tell us. And this is a public case. I mean, everyone's tweeting about it. Everyone's talking about it. There are headlines that are coming up every single day, whether it's Page 6, Reality Blurb, YouTube, they're everywhere. Somebody has to talk about it. I'm sure it's going to be when the time is right that somebody will be talking about it, but eventually it will be talked about. Guys, I'm so curious what you think and what you want to know most about this case. I think for me, I want to know, will Mr. Girardi's brother actually win as a conservator to be able to keep Mr. Gerardi in his Pasadena mansion? Will Mr. Gerardi actually be convicted of any crimes? Did Erika have any knowledge about anything that was going on behind the scenes with her soon-to-be ex-husband? Guys, there's so many questions, and I read all of your comments. I know you guys have been following this case just as closely as I have. If you haven't already, go ahead and comment below. Let me know. Share your thoughts. And also answer this for me. How much of this do you really feel will play out on the next season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? They already filmed their finale. It's coming soon. It's all happening. How much are we going to get to see? Go ahead, comment below. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Show some love. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that being said, see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Check us out every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for watching Up and Adam.